The fire chief's words cut deeper than any flame Tom Brennan had faced in 45 years. "You're too old. Liability. Effective immediately." Tom handed over his badge, walking out past rookies he'd trained. 5 days later, Lincoln Elementary erupted in flames, 200 kids trapped inside. The new crew froze, overwhelmed. Then an old man in a faded uniform pushed through the crowd, voice steady with authority earned over decades. "I know this building. Follow me." Nobody knew the hero's name until the cameras found him. If this story moves you, please like and share. Experience and courage have no expiration date. Thomas Brennan had been a firefighter for 45 years. He joined at 23, fresh from the Marines, looking for purpose. He found it in the Riverside Fire Department, Station 7. 45 years of running into burning buildings while others ran out. 45 years of saving lives, mentoring rookies, perfecting the craft. Tom had 3 medals of valor, dozens of commendations, and the respect of every firefighter who'd ever worked with him, until Marcus Whitfield became fire chief. Whitfield was 42, young, ambitious, MBA from an expensive school. He'd been a firefighter for 7 years before moving into administration. He believed in modernization and efficiency metrics. 3 months after taking over, Whitfield called a mandatory meeting. "We're implementing new policies. Physical fitness standards will be stricter, and we're instituting mandatory retirement at 65. Anyone older is grandfathered out within 90 days. Tom's stomach dropped. He was 68. So were 3 other veterans. After the meeting, Tom approached Whitfield. "Chief, I still pass all physicals. My performance reviews are excellent. Why force retirement?" Whitfield didn't look up from his tablet. "It's not personal, Brennan. It's liability. Older firefighters cost more in insurance. They're slower. Higher injury risk. We need younger, faster crews. I've got more experience than your entire rookie class combined. Experience doesn't matter when your back gives out carrying someone down a ladder. You're done. 90 days. Tom felt rage and humiliation burning. "I've given 45 years, and we appreciate it, but times change. Adapt or retire, your choice." It wasn't a choice. Whitfield made that clear. 60 days later, Whitfield called Tom to his office. "Brennan, we're accelerating your timeline. There was an incident. You took too long responding to a call last week. I passed the physical agility test 2 months ago. On paper, but in the field, you're slow. I'm terminating you effective immediately. Turn in your gear." Tom's voice shook. "You're doing this in front of everyone?" Transparency is important. In the station common room, rookies Tom had trained watched as he handed over his badge, jacket, helmet. His locker was cleared, 45 years reduced to a cardboard box. One rookie, Danny Martinez, who Tom had mentored for 2 years, approached. "Chief, this is wrong. Tom's the best we have." "That's not your call, Martinez. Get back to work." Danny's eyes met Tom's. Apology, shame, helplessness. Tom walked out, didn't look back, couldn't. At home, a small house he'd shared with his wife Margaret until she died 3 years ago, Tom set the box down, stared at it. 45 years, gone. His kids lived out of state, busy with their own lives. They called occasionally. But Tom's real family had been the station, his brothers, and now he was exiled. Days blurred. Tom woke up, watched TV, went to bed. No purpose, no identity. He was a firefighter, had been for 45 years. Who was he without it? Week 2 of unemployment, Tom's neighbor Charlie, a teacher, knocked. "Tom, you okay? Haven't seen you much." "Fine." "You don't look fine. Want to talk?" "Nothing to talk about. I'm done. Washed up. Too old." Charlie frowned. "You're 68 and healthier than men half your age. Whitfield's an idiot." "Whitfield's the chief. He makes the rules. Doesn't make them right." After Charlie left, Tom found himself at his closet. His old uniform hung there, the one from his first decade on the job. Faded, worn. He'd kept it for sentimental reasons. He touched the fabric, remembered his first fire, terror and adrenaline. Then training kicked in. He saved a family of 4 that night. The father hugged him, crying, "You're a hero." Tom didn't feel like a hero now, just old, discarded. 5 days after his forced retirement, Tom was making coffee when he heard it. The alarm from Station 7, 2 miles away but audible. The distinct pattern, structure fire, multiple alarms. Tom's body reacted before his mind. Training from 45 years. He turned on the radio scanner he still kept. Multiple alarms, Lincoln Elementary School, 1247 Oak Street. Fire in the East Wing, spreading fast. Reports of students and staff trapped inside. Tom's heart stopped. Lincoln Elementary. He knew that building. He'd helped build it in 1979, volunteer work during renovations. He knew every corridor, every exit, every structural weakness. And it was on fire, with kids inside. Tom grabbed his old uniform, put it on, still fit. He grabbed his old helmet, retired but functional. His neighbor Charlie saw him getting in his truck. "Tom, what are you doing?" "There's a fire. At Lincoln." "You're retired." "Kids are trapped. I know that building. I'm going." Tom drove faster than legal. Arrived at Lincoln to chaos. Fire trucks everywhere. Flames consuming the East Wing. Parents screaming, kids crying, firefighters scrambling. But Tom saw something wrong. The crews weren't moving decisively. They were hesitant, confused. He pushed through the crowd. A young firefighter, one of Whitfield's new recruits, stood frozen, staring at the flames. "Status!" Tom demanded in his command voice. The kid jumped. "Sir, we've got approximately 40 kids trapped in the East Wing, 2nd floor, but the main stairwell collapsed. We can't reach them." "What about the service stairs, north side?" "Service stairs?" Tom's jaw tightened. They didn't know. The building plans hadn't been updated. The service stairs, installed during the 1979 renovation, weren't on modern blueprints. "I know this building. I helped build parts of it. There's a way in." "Who are you?" "Someone who's going to save those kids. Where's your commander?" The scene commander was Lieutenant Brooks, 35, competent but overwhelmed. When Tom approached, Brooks looked relieved. "Tom Brennan, what are you doing here?" "I know this building. There's a service stairwell on the north side, installed in 79, not on your modern plans. It's steel reinforced, should still be intact." "Show me." Tom led Brooks around the building. Through the smoke he found it, a steel door, unmarked, hot but holding. "This leads to the 2nd floor East Wing. But you need to know, the corridor splits 3 ways up there. Left goes to classrooms 1 through 4. Straight ahead is the library where most kids probably sheltered. Right leads to the art wing, but that's likely collapsed by now." Brooks radioed for teams. "We've got access. North side service stairs. Brennan, you've done enough." "No, I'm going up. I know the layout. You need me." "Tom, you're not active duty. Those kids don't care about paperwork. You need someone who knows the way. That's me." Brooks hesitated, then nodded. "Suit up. Full gear. You're with Team Alpha." Tom grabbed turnout gear from a truck, put it on, felt right, like coming home. Team Alpha was 4 firefighters, all under 30. They looked at Tom uncertainly. "Listen up," Tom said. "This building's a maze. You follow my lead. Stay together. We get the kids and get out. No heroics. Understood?" "Yes, sir." They entered the service stairs. Heat was intense, smoke thick, but the stairs held. 2nd floor. Tom pushed through the steel door. Flames everywhere. Visibility near 0. The rookies hesitated. "Stay close!" Tom moved forward, decades of experience guiding him. He knew where the supports were, where to avoid. The corridor was exactly as he remembered, muscle memory from helping paint these walls 44 years ago. Left turn, classrooms 1 through 4, empty, evacuated early. Straight ahead, library. Tom heard it, crying, kids trapped. "Here!" Tom pushed through the library doors. Smoke filled the room. 20 kids huddled against the far wall with a teacher, Mrs. Patterson, who Tom recognized. She taught his daughter. "Mrs. Patterson, it's Tom Brennan. We're getting you out." "Tom, thank God, the main exit collapsed." "I know. Follow me. Kids, hold hands. Don't let go. We're going out the service stairs." The rookies helped organize the kids. Tom led them back, but halfway down the corridor, a support beam groaned, then cracked. "Move! Now!" Tom pushed the kids forward as the beam came down. It missed them by feet. Flames roared through the new gap. They reached the stairs. Tom counted, all 20 kids, plus Mrs. Patterson, everyone out. At ground level, parents rushed forward, grabbing children. Mrs. Patterson hugged Tom. "You saved us. Again. Again. 1987. You pulled me out of a car fire. I was 16. You probably don't remember." "Marianne Patterson, I remember. You're welcome." Brooks approached. "Tom, there's more. We've got reports of kids in the art wing. But it's fully engulfed. My crews can't reach it." "I can. I know a back way, through the maintenance crawl space." "That's suicide. The whole wing's coming down." "Then we need to hurry." Before Brooks could argue, Tom was moving. 2 rookies, Danny Martinez and Sarah Kim, followed. "You don't have to," Tom started. "You taught us, sir," Danny said. "We're with you." The maintenance crawlspace was accessed through a janitor's closet, narrow, hot, but not directly exposed to flames. Tom led the way. His 68-year-old body protested, knees ached, back hurt, but adrenaline and purpose pushed him forward. They emerged in the art wing. 3 kids and their teacher trapped in a corner, surrounded by flames. The ceiling was sagging, minutes from collapse. "Form a water shield," Tom commanded. Danny and Sarah aimed hoses, creating a path through the flames. Tom ran through, grabbed 2 kids. Danny grabbed the 3rd. Sarah helped the teacher. They ran back through the crawl space. Tom's lungs burned, smoke inhalation. But he didn't stop. Couldn't. They burst out of the janitor's closet as the art wing collapsed behind them. A fireball exploded through the corridor they just left. "Out! Everyone out!" Tom herded them to the exit. Fresh air. Safety. Tom collapsed to his knees, coughing. Paramedics rushed over. "Sir, you need oxygen." "Kids first. Check the kids. They're fine. You saved them, but you need treatment." Tom waved them off, sitting on the curb. His uniform, old and faded, was now black with soot. His face was covered in ash, but he was alive, and so were the kids. Brooks approached. "Tom, that was. I've never seen anything like that. How did you know?" "Experience. 45 years of it." A news van pulled up. Reporters rushed forward. One shoved a microphone in Tom's face. "Sir, you were instrumental in the rescue. Can you tell us your name?" Tom looked at the camera, exhausted. "Thomas Brennan, retired firefighter, Station 7. The reporter's eyes widened. "Thomas Brennan. The Thomas Brennan, the founder of Riverside Fire's Special Rescue Unit." "I didn't found it, just helped build it." "Sir, you're a legend. 3 medals of valor, over 300 lives saved in your career. Why are you retired?" Tom's voice was flat. "I was fired. Chief said I was too old. Liability." "But you just saved." "How many today?" Brooks answered. "At least 43 confirmed. Maybe more." The reporter turned to the camera. "This is Thomas Brennan, 68 years old, fired 5 days ago for being too old. He just saved 43 people from a burning school. Back to you in the studio." Within hours, Tom's story went viral. News outlets nationwide covered it. "Fired firefighter saves 43 in school blaze." Social media exploded with support. The mayor called an emergency press conference. Today, a tragedy was averted by the bravery of our firefighters, particularly Thomas Brennan. Mr. Brennan's actions exemplify heroism and dedication. We owe him our gratitude. Reporters asked about his firing. The mayor looked uncomfortable. "That's a personnel matter we're reviewing." Chief Whitfield was conspicuously absent from the press conference. He'd been at the fire scene but left before media arrived. Now he was in his office, door locked, phone ringing non-stop. Tom went home, showered, stared at himself in the mirror, soot still in his hair. Burns on his arms, exhausted but alive and purposeful. His phone rang, his daughter Emily. "Dad, I saw the news. Are you okay?" "I'm fine, honey. You ran into a burning building at your age. Someone had to. The kids." "I know, Dad, I know. You're a hero. You've always been a hero. I'm sorry I haven't said that enough." Tom's eyes filled. "Thanks, sweetheart." His son called next. Then old colleagues, then reporters. Tom turned off his phone. The next morning there was a knock. Tom opened it to find Danny Martinez and 20 other firefighters from Station 7. "Chief Brennan," Danny said formally, "we came to apologize. What happened to you was wrong. We should have fought harder. You couldn't. Whitfield had the power. He doesn't anymore. The city council called emergency session last night. Whitfield's been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. They're looking into his hiring and firing practices. Turns out he forced out 12 veterans over age complaints, all highly decorated, all still fit for duty." Tom blinked. "They're investigating. More than that, they want you back, acting chief, until they find Whitfield's replacement." "I don't want to be chief." "Then just come back as yourself. We need you. We've always needed you." Tom looked at these young firefighters, saw hope, respect, family. "Okay, but I'm not doing paperwork. I'm doing what I do best, fighting fires and training the next generation." "Deal." Tom returned to Station 7 that afternoon. The crews lined up, applauding as he walked in. His locker had been restored, his gear waiting. Chief Whitfield cleaned out his office that evening. He avoided eye contact with everyone. Tom saw him leaving and followed outside. "Whitfield," the ex-chief turned. "Brennan come to gloat? No, come to tell you something. You're young, smart, but you forgot something important. Experience matters. You can't learn 45 years of lessons in a classroom. It comes from doing, from failing, from getting back up. You dismissed veterans because we didn't fit your metrics, but we're not numbers. We're knowledge, wisdom, and we could have taught you. If you'd listened." Whitfield's shoulders sagged. "I was wrong. I know that now. I cost the department. I almost cost those kids their lives. You did. Learn from it. Be better." Whitfield nodded, got in his car, and drove away. Tom never saw him again. The city council formally reinstated Tom and the 11 other veterans Whitfield had forced out. They implemented new policies: no age-based firing, mandatory respect for veteran knowledge, mentorship programs, pairing experienced firefighters with rookies. Tom didn't become chief. He stayed a firefighter, but he became the department's official trainer. He taught classes on building structures, fire behavior, and crisis decision-making. "Experience isn't a liability," he told one class. "It's your greatest asset. When the fire's roaring and visibility's zero, experience guides you. It tells you where the weak points are, where people hide, how buildings collapse. You can't learn that from a manual. You learn it from doing, from surviving." 6 months after the Lincoln fire, Tom stood at a ceremony. The mayor presented him with his 4th Medal of Valor. "Thomas Brennan represents the best of us," the mayor said. "Courage, dedication, and humility. When others said he was done, he proved them wrong. Not for glory, but because kids needed saving. That's heroism." Tom accepted the medal, then spoke. "I'm not special. I'm just a firefighter who did his job. But I want to say something to anyone watching. Don't let age define you. Don't let others tell you you're done when you know you're not. Experience, courage, and heart don't expire. They grow stronger with time. I'm 68, and I'll keep running into burning buildings until my body truly can't. Because that's who I am. That's who we all are. Firefighters don't retire from calling. We retire from paperwork." The audience laughed and applauded. Tom worked 5 more years, finally retired at 73. His choice this time. He'd trained another generation, saved dozens more lives, and proved that age is just a number when you've got purpose. At his retirement party, Danny Martinez, now a lieutenant, gave a speech. "Chief Brennan taught me everything I know, not just about firefighting, about character. He showed me that experience matters, that wisdom comes from time, that the old guys aren't liabilities, they're lifelines. Thank you, Chief, for everything." Tom looked around at faces. Young firefighters he'd trained, old colleagues he'd served beside, kids he'd saved, now grown adults thanking him. This was legacy, not medals or headline, but lives changed. Knowledge passed on, a profession honored. Tom Brennan had been told he was too old, too slow, a liability. He'd proven that experience, courage, and heart never age. They just get refined. And sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones others try to forget, until fire reminds everyone why they were legends in the first place. Sometimes being too old just means you've earned wisdom others haven't. Sometimes the best firefighter isn't the fastest or youngest. It's the one who knows the building, reads the fire, and stays calm when chaos reigns. Tom Brennan was that firefighter for 45 years, and when they tried to take that away, he proved they couldn't. Because firefighters aren't made by employment status, they're made by fire. And Tom had been forged in flames for nearly half a century. That doesn't expire, it just burns brighter. Tom's return to Station 7 sparked changes beyond Riverside. News of the fired firefighter who saved 43 spread nationally. Other cities reviewed their age-based retirement policies. Veterans groups advocated for experience over arbitrary age limits. Tom received hundreds of letters from firefighters forced into early retirement, from kids he'd saved over the decades, from parents grateful their children came home because an old man knew a forgotten stairwell. One letter stood out, from Marcus Whitfield. "Chief Brennan, I don't expect forgiveness. What I did was wrong, not just to you, but to 11 other veterans and the department. I was arrogant, believed metrics mattered more than wisdom. The Lincoln fire taught me otherwise. I'm working security now. Humbling work, good work. Thank you for the lesson. I'll carry it forever." Marcus. Tom kept the letter, showed it to his training classes. Nobody's beyond redemption. Whitfield made mistakes, but he learned. That's what matters, being willing to learn at any age. 3 months after his return, Tom was teaching a class on structural awareness when an alarm sounded. Multiple alarm, warehouse district. Possible people trapped. Tom and 6 firefighters, mix of veterans and rookies, responded. The warehouse was old, unstable. Flames engulfed it. "Chief, we've got 2 workers unaccounted for," Lieutenant Brooks reported. "Last seen in the southeast corner." "That section's compromised," Tom said, studying the building. "But there's a loading dock entrance. Reinforced steel should still be accessible." They found it. Tom led the team in. The rookies followed his every move, learned to read smoke patterns, identify safe paths, anticipate collapses. They found both workers, unconscious from smoke inhalation. Tom and Danny carried them out minutes before that section collapsed. Paramedics worked frantically. Both workers survived. At the station later, Danny approached Tom. "Chief, how did you know about the loading dock?" "I didn't. Not specifically. But 45 years teaches you patterns. Old warehouses always have reinforced loading areas. Steel construction, usually the last thing to fail. Experience told me where to look. That's why Whitfield was wrong. Whitfield was young, thought innovation trumped experience. But the best departments blend both. Young energy with veteran wisdom. That's what we're building here. The training program Tom developed became a model. Veteran Mentorship Initiative, pairing experienced firefighters with rookies. Each rookie got a mentor who'd served at least 20 years. Results were dramatic. Rookie confidence increased. Injury rates dropped. Response times improved. The department that Whitfield nearly destroyed became stronger than ever. Tom's influence extended beyond Riverside. He was invited to speak at fire academies nationwide. His message was consistent. Don't discard experience. Embrace it. The old guys aren't obsolete. They're libraries of knowledge. Tap into that before it's gone. One academy director told Tom, "You've started a movement. Departments everywhere are rethinking age policies. You saved more than kids at Lincoln. You saved veteran careers nationwide. I just did my job." The recognition goes to every firefighter who refused to quit when told they were too old. 2 years after Lincoln, Tom got a call from Mrs. Patterson, the teacher he'd saved. "Tom, Lincoln's rebuilding. We're having a dedication ceremony. The new wing is being named after you, the Brennan Safety Wing. Would you attend?" Tom was speechless. "I don't need. It's not what you need. It's what those kids need, to thank you properly." The ceremony was emotional. 200 former students attended, many now teenagers or young adults. They lined up to thank Tom personally. One girl, Sophia, age 15, hugged him. "I was in the art wing. You pulled me out. I was 7. I remember your face through the smoke. You said, 'I got you.' I believed you. You saved my life." Tom's eyes filled. "Just doing my job, sweetheart." "No. You chose to come back. You were retired. You didn't have to. But you did. That's not a job. That's love." The new Brennan Safety Wing featured state-of-art fire suppression systems, multiple exits, and, at Tom's insistence, prominently displayed escape route maps that even young children could understand. "Buildings don't kill people," Tom said during the dedication. "Panic does. Poor planning does. If every building had clear routes and people knew them, we'd save thousands of lives. Let this wing be a model." Lincoln Elementary became exactly that, a model for school fire safety nationwide. At 70, Tom started slowing down. His knees complained more, his back ached after long shifts, but his mind remained sharp, his courage undiminished. He started transitioning to full-time training, still responded to major fires, but let younger firefighters take the lead. "My job now is teaching," he told Emily, "passing on what I know before I can't anymore." "Dad, you've already taught thousands." "Not enough, never enough. Every firefighter I train might save 100 people over their career. That's my legacy, multiplied knowledge." At 72, Tom faced a decision. His body was finally catching up to his age. A bad knee from a roof collapse in 98, arthritis from decades of physical strain. His doctor recommended full retirement. "Tom, you've given enough. Your body needs rest." "My body needs purpose. Retirement's just slow death." But Tom knew the doctor was right. He couldn't run into burning buildings forever. Time to pass the torch. He announced retirement, real retirement this time, at 73, 50 years of service. The ceremony was massive. Firefighters from across the country attended. The governor presented a special commendation. "Thomas Brennan represents the best of American service," the governor said. 5 decades of courage, over 400 lives saved, thousands trained, a legacy of excellence. Tom's speech was simple. "I was a firefighter because I couldn't imagine being anything else. To those I trained, the torch is yours. Carry it with honor. To young people watching, never let anyone tell you you're too old to matter. Experience is power. Use it. And to Marcus Whitfield, wherever you are, I forgive you. You made a mistake. You learned. That's what life's about." Standing ovation, tears throughout the room. Danny Martinez, now captain, presented Tom with a custom helmet, gold-plated, engraved, "Chief Thomas Brennan, 50 years of service, legend, mentor, hero." "This helmet represents every firefighter you trained," Danny said. "Every life you saved, every lesson you taught. You'll never wear it into a fire, but you'll always be our chief." Tom held the helmet, overwhelmed. "Thank you, all of you. This career, this family, gave me everything. I'm proud to have served beside you." Retirement was strange. Tom struggled at first. No alarms, no purpose, just quiet. But Emily had an idea. "Dad, write a book about your career, the lessons. Future firefighters need your wisdom documented." Tom started writing. Forged in Flames, 50 years of fighting fires and fighting age discrimination. It took 2 years, stories of rescues, lessons learned, the importance of experience, his firing and vindication. The book became required reading at fire academies. Tom's story, especially the Lincoln Rescue, became case studies in crisis management and the value of institutional knowledge. At 75, Tom was invited to the White House. The president presented him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. "Thomas Brennan's story is America's story," the president said. "Hard work, perseverance, never giving up. He was told he was finished. He proved he was just beginning his most important chapter, showing the nation that experience matters, that age is not a barrier to heroism, and that the measure of a life is not how long you live, but how many lives you touch." Tom shook the president's hand, thinking about that day 5 years ago when Whitfield fired him. How devastated he'd felt, how purposeless. Mr. President, I accept this honor for every veteran firefighter told they're too old, for every person forced to retire when they still have so much to give. Age discrimination is real, but so is the power of experience. We need to value both youth and wisdom. That's when organizations thrive. The speech went viral. Congress introduced legislation, the Brennan Act, prohibiting age-based firing in emergency services without documented performance failures. Tom testified, "You can't force out experience because of a birthday. Evaluate individuals on capability, not age. Some 60-year-olds outperform 25-year-olds. Judge by merit, not calendar." The act passed. Tom attended the signing, another victory, not just for him, but for every worker facing age discrimination. At 77, Tom's health declined, heart issues. His doctor insisted on rest. Tom finally listened. He spent time with Emily and her family, played with grandchildren, told them stories about fires and rescues. His grandson, age 8, asked, "Grandpa, were you scared going into fires?" Every time. But courage isn't lack of fear. It's acting despite fear, because someone needs help. That's what heroes do. They act when others freeze. "You're my hero, Grandpa." Tom hugged him tight. "And you're mine, buddy." One afternoon, Tom got a visitor, Marcus Whitfield, older now, humbler. "Chief Brennan, I heard you weren't well. I needed to see you, to apologize, in person, for everything." Tom invited him in. They sat in the living room where Tom had sat alone and defeated 5 years earlier. "Marcus, I forgave you years ago. I don't deserve it. None of us deserve forgiveness. That's why it's a gift. You made a mistake, a bad one, but you learned, you changed. That matters. I destroyed careers, and we rebuilt them stronger. Your mistake sparked reform. The Brennan Act protects thousands now. Good came from bad. That's redemption." Whitfield wiped tears. "Thank you. I needed to hear that." After he left, Tom felt peace. Full circle. The man who'd broken him had sought forgiveness, and Tom gave it freely. At 79, Tom's heart finally gave out. He died peacefully at home, Emily holding his hand. "Dad, I love you. You were the best man I've ever known." Tom smiled. "I love you too, sweetheart. Tell the grandkids, tell them Grandpa's final alarm. Time to rest." The funeral was the largest in Riverside history. 3,000 firefighters attended, from every state, flags at half-staff, a procession of fire trucks stretching miles. Danny Martinez gave the eulogy. "Chief Brennan taught me everything about being a firefighter, but more importantly, he taught me about being a man. He showed that courage isn't fearlessness, it's acting despite fear. That experience is earned through time, mistakes, and perseverance. That age is just a number when your heart is on fire with purpose." Danny's voice broke. He was told he was too old, too slow, a liability. He proved that experience saves lives, that wisdom matters, that you don't discard legends, you learn from them. Chief Brennan didn't just save 43 people at Lincoln. He saved an entire profession from forgetting its roots. Emily spoke next. "My father was complicated. He missed birthdays for fires, worked holidays, but he loved completely. His family was Station 7 and the citizens of Riverside. He gave 50 years, and when they tried to take it away, he gave more, because that's who he was, a firefighter, to his last breath." The fire chief, a 40-year veteran Tom had trained, announced the department's tribute. "Thomas Brennan will never be forgotten. We're establishing the Brennan Institute, a training center dedicated to teaching veteran firefighter knowledge to new generations. Every firefighter who graduates will carry a piece of Tom's wisdom. His legacy lives on through every life saved, every fire fought, every lesson taught." Tom was buried with full honors. The missing man formation flew overhead. Bagpipes played Amazing Grace. 3,000 firefighters saluted as the casket was lowered. His headstone read, Thomas Brennan, 1957-2036, firefighter, hero, teacher. They said he was too old. He proved them wrong. In the months after, Tom's impact became even clearer. The Brennan Act protected countless workers from age discrimination. His book became a bestseller, required reading in emergency services. The Brennan Institute trained 500 firefighters annually. Lincoln Elementary held annual Tom Brennan Day. Students learned fire safety and the story of the man who'd saved their school. Sophia, the girl from the art wing, became a firefighter. Chief Brennan saved my life. Now I save others. That's his legacy. Inspiration passed forward. Today, 10 years after Tom's death, Station 7 unveiled a statue. Bronze Tom in full gear, helmet in hand, looking toward the sky. The inscription, experience never ages, courage never retires, heroes never die. Danny, now fire chief, spoke at the unveiling. When I was a rookie, I thought I knew everything. Tom taught me I knew nothing. That real knowledge comes from experience, from failures, from time. Today's firefighters benefit from Tom's 50 years of wisdom. That's immortality, not living forever, but teaching lessons that do. 20 years later, a documentary was made, Too Old to Serve, the Tom Brennan story. It featured interviews with those he'd saved, those he'd trained, and Marcus Whitfield. Whitfield, now 70, spoke honestly. I almost destroyed a great man because I was arrogant. I thought youth and technology mattered more than experience. Tom showed me I was catastrophically wrong. He saved 43 lives after I fired him. That haunted me for years. But he forgave me, taught me that mistakes don't define us. What we learn from them does. The documentary won awards, sparked national conversations about age discrimination, the value of experience, and how society treats older workers. 50 years after Lincoln, Riverside celebrated the anniversary. The school, now with the Brennan Safety Wing, hosted a reunion. Survivors, now in their 50s, shared memories. He came through smoke like an angel, one said. I remember his voice, calm, certain. Follow me. We did. We lived. I have kids now, because Tom Brennan ran into a burning building at 68 when everyone said he was too old. Emily, now 93, attended. She placed flowers at her father's statue. Dad, 50 years later they still remember, still learn from you, still tell your story. You were right. Experience doesn't expire, courage doesn't age, and heroes never die. They live on through those they saved and taught. I'm proud to be your daughter. I love you. Always. The Brennan Institute continued training firefighters. Over 20,000 graduated, each carrying forward Tom's principles. Experience matters. Age is irrelevant when capability is present. Never stop learning. Courage is acting despite fear. Tom's story became legend, taught in schools, referenced in legislation. Cited in age discrimination cases nationwide, the message endured, society discards experienced workers at its peril. Tom Brennan was told he was too old, too slow, obsolete. He saved 43 lives and sparked a movement. That's not obsolete. That's essential. Every firefighter who runs into danger carrying 50 years of lessons. Every older worker fighting age discrimination. Every person told they're past their prime, but refusing to quit. They carry Tom Brennan's legacy. He proved that experience is power. That age is just a number when your purpose burns bright. That the greatest contributions often come from those society tries to retire. Tom Brennan was a firefighter for 50 years, but his real legacy spans generations, a testament to courage, experience, and the eternal truth that heroism has no expiration date. He was told he was finished. He proved he was essential. That's not just a story. That's a lesson for everyone who's ever been underestimated because of age. Fight on. Serve on. Prove them wrong, just like Tom Brennan did every single time.